MLS Match Day 23 review of all the matches from East and West Conference. And then Sam, yes, Starlot, David Bishop, and the ref for the week. So we are up by kick for right. So welcome you to around the MLS Match Day.
Give away to Ali Ibrahim. He passed it and he scores!
Let me hear a perspective on the game tonight.
The ref was ready to blow the whistle like 30 seconds before that goal. Game should have ended.
Sports around the MLS Match Day 23 review of all the matches from East and West Conference. And then Sam, yes, Starlot, David Bishop, and the ref for the week. So we are up by kick for right. So welcome you to around the MLS Match Day.
Give away to Ali Ibrahim. He passed it and he scores!
Let me hear a perspective on the game tonight.
The ref was ready to blow the whistle like 30 seconds before that goal. Game should have ended.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Around the World of Sports with Sam here on ASNSportsTV.net. Yes, we are saturated with a lot of soccer activities in the summer here in the US, going from the FIFA Club World Cup to the Gold Cup here in CONCACAF, and also the MLS regular season is in full swing and it never went on break as all this soccer brouhaha is going on in this part of the world. Yes, my name is Sam. Welcome. If you love what we do here, you know what you're going to do for me? Just go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. And also don't forget to go to our website, asnsportstv.net, and you can follow us across all our social and digital media platforms as we tell sports stories in a unique way. Yes, we have you covered, because we have a lot of stories coming. So right about now, I'm going to give you update coming from the FIFA Club World Cup. Yes, let's go straight into the thick of the action. It's unfortunate that we may not see any African team in the last 16 of the FIFA Club World Cup because all of them are almost home. Wydad FC, who are in the same group alongside Juventus and Manchester City, are already out of the tournament. Esperance of Tunisia are out of that tournament. And talk about another team, Al Ahly are also out of that tournament. But in the MLS, only one team made it to the last 16 of the Club World Cup, and that team is the team that have that magical man, Lionel Messi, and that team is Inter Miami. Yes, yesterday, LAFC couldn't hold on. They drew 1-1 with Flamingo, and that draw meant that LAFC got only a point in 3 games at this FIFA Club World Cup. Denny Bouanga, got their only goal in that game in the 84th minute. And to me, I was thinking that LAFC was about to run off with a 1-0 surprise win over Flamingos of Brazil. But Flamingos hit back just 2 minutes after that goal from Denny Bouanga. And the game ended 1-1 between LAFC and Flamingos. Now let's go to the game between Esperance of Tunisia and then Chelsea. I thought Esperance of Tunisia, they were going to pull off that upset to beat Chelsea because Esperance have 3 points before the final group game. They defeated LAFC 1-0, and they had a chance to make it to the last 16 of the FIFA Club World Cup, but it never happened. And their last final group game, they lost scandalously to Chelsea. Just look at Chelsea. Chelsea could beat them 3-0. I think say Esperance could even collect point for that game. At least they just get a point, and that will, give them a little bit of standing chance for them to make the last 16, but they couldn't. Now look at Group D, how Group D looked like. Flamingos made it to the last 16, 7 points from 3 games, 2 wins and a draw. Chelsea, second, 2 wins and they lost 1 game, while Esperance won only 1 and they lost 2 games. LAFC bowed out in style with their head held high after they drew 1-1 with Flamingos of Brazil. What a game that was for LAFC. I thought they were going to pull off something very important. All right, let's go to the game between Auckland City Football Club and Boca Juniors. I mean, they said when it rains, it pours. Auckland City Football Club conceded 16 goals prior to meeting Boca Juniors in their final Group C game. And they're already out. So playing against Boca Juniors just to fulfill righteousness, just to complete the final group game. But look at, they dragged Boca Juniors alongside themselves. And they say, today, we no say with the commode. But Boca Juniors, you go follow us commode. Because when you look at the numbers, that game between Auckland City Football Club and Boca Juniors produced, it will surprise you, how Boca Juniors were not able to trash Auckland by large goal margin. Just look at the screen right now. Total shots that Boca Juniors fired at Auckland is 39. And out of 39 shots they fired, 10 were on target, and 23 was off target. And 19 of those shots came from inside the penalty area of Auckland City Football Club, and 20 of those shots came outside the penalty area. And that means that Boca Juniors, they were all over Auckland. And when you talk about hard luck in goal scoring, this game says it all. Just look at. Now, look at the attacking numbers in that game. 65% ball possession from Boca Junior. 24 from Auckland. 11% was in contest. While goal 1-1 apiece. So when you look at the numbers, that game produced does not match the goal it recorded. So that means when you talk about hard luck in games, the game between Boca Juniors and Auckland City Football Club says it all. That is why whenever you get your chance, you better make good use of it, because if you don't, you may end up ruining all those goal scoring chances you could have scored. All right, so let's go to the game. The only African team now left in this game is Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa. Yes, they have 3 points. Do they have a chance of making the last 16? Yes, they do. Look at their table in Group F. Fluminense have 4 points. Borussia Dortmund have 4 points. And the Sundowns from Mamelodi, they have 3 points. They are the ones that are consequential. So the final group game will pitch Mamelodi Sundowns against Fluminense. And that game kicks off today, I think 2 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. So if Mamelodi Sundowns could defeat Fluminense, they will go right into the last 16 of the FIFA Club World Cup. It's not impossible. It's not. Because we have been in this game to know that the word upset still exists in dictionary. You know what I'm saying? The word upset still exists in dictionary. Prior to the game between Boca Juniors and Auckland City Football Club, I was of the opinion that Boca Juniors will get a huge score margin against Auckland City Football Club, but it never happened. And we saw what the result became. So now let's go to Group A. Inter Miami, Palmeiras, Porto, and Al-Ahly. Al-Ahly are home and dry. So let's see what happens in that game. All right, so let's go to the CONCACAF Gold Cup because the quarterfinal matchups is out. But before we go there, let's talk about that regardless of the fact that these teams that have been knocked out, but their bank account is smiling because this FIFA Club World Cup is a huge money spinner. All right, let's go through the financial incentive or the financial package that some of these clubs will enjoy or are enjoying with their participation in this FIFA Club World Cup. All right. For you to make round of 16, you will get a bonus of 7.5 million US dollars on top of your participation bonus. So I'll make you understand what now the yarn here. For you to make the last 16 of the FIFA Club World Cup, that means you will enjoy a financial largesse of $7.5 million on top of participation bonus. So now, when you get to quarterfinals, if you qualify to the last 8, you are going home with $13.125 million. Huge money. Now, you make the last 4, you will get $21 million. Now, you're a runner-up, $30 million. Now, you win the championship, $40 million. Just imagine if one club from Nigeria was able to make the group stage of this FIFA Club World Cup. Imagine the financial package that team will enjoy. And who says the players will get it? Because no club in Nigeria is privately owned, apart from Remo Stars. All of them are run by the state government. That means the state government has another money to steal from the people. Now, talk about participating. You know, there's a way FIFA broke down that financial largesse according to your confederation. Now, let's go to UEFA. Each UEFA team, FIFA gave, I think, a large sum depending on your confederation. UEFA got 12 to 12.81 million. South American teams got $15.21 million. Africa got 9.5 million to be shared within these 3 clubs, 3 or 4 clubs that represent Africa, while Oceania got $3.5 million. Now, for you to participate, you're having $9.55 million. Great money, huge financial incentive for you to even participate in this FIFA Club World Cup. So while we are here in the studio talking about that they've lost, they're going home, they're doing that, their bank accounts is smiling heavily. All right, let's go to the CONCACAF Gold Cup. The draws are in. The quarterfinal matchups are out. So the U.S. men's national team, this Gold Cup gave some of their fans a great optimism. When you look at how the team performed during the group stage, they won all their 3 matches. A group that has Saudi Arabia and others, and they ended up topping the group with 9 points. Now, in the quarterfinal stage, they will face Costa Rica on Sunday, June the 29th. The same day, Inter Miami will take on Paris Saint-Germain in the last 16 of the FIFA Club World Cup. And kickoff of that match between the US men's national team and Costa Rica will be 6 p.m. 6 p.m. And you ask yourself, which one, as a US soccer fan, which one will you have your eyes on? Unless you're a Messi fan, you will not be watching Inter Miami against PSG. If you are a US soccer fan, you will want to glue your eyes on the game between the US men's national team and Costa Rica. Yes. Sometimes you will put your faith on the US men's national team and they will go down be found wanting. Do I want them to win this tournament? Yes. I represent the US men's national team. I'm Nigeria by birth, American by choice. So I still root for the home team, and that's the US men's national team against Costa Rica. Costa Rica is one of the formidable teams here in CONCACAF. They've been to the World Cup several times. And sometimes when they go to the FIFA World Cup, they give good account of themselves. So let's look at other quarterfinal games line up here in the Gold Cup. We have Panama against Honduras, Mexico versus Saudi Arabia, and then we have Canada. Canada have a great team. Don't even sweat. Canada, they have a great team, great national team. So Canada will play Guatemala, and then we have Panama, Honduras, Mexico, Saudi Arabia, USA, and Costa Rica. Canada and Guatemala. Great game in the Gold Cup. So let's see who will make the last 4 of the Gold Cup. All right, away from soccer now, let's talk about basketball. Yes, I represent the home team. You see, the Houston Rockets. I rep the home team right here. So a great trade that kind of excited the Houston Rockets fan base, was in the media. And guess who? This man, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is a Rocket. Yes, he's coming to the Houston Rockets. Off camera, I was talking to my buddy, Chris Cartos. He said, "Oh, he's a great player. No doubt about that. Kevin Durant is a great player. I'm not taking anything away from him. Championship proven, have won his one and only NBA title with the Golden State Warriors. But when he left the Warriors, what has he achieved? I may not be the best basketball head, but what I've come to realize these days is this: superstars right now in basketball doesn't count. All you need to do is to build a well-oiled machine team that will deliver. Look at the Oklahoma City Thunders, the newly crowned NBA champions. Tell me who's a superstar in that team, in the caliber of Kevin Durant or LeBron James. But these are hungry basketballers who wants to make name for themselves. And guess what? They went and grabbed that first NBA championship for Oklahoma City Thunder. And now everybody is happy about it. Everybody's giving them their flowers and kudos because they went and did the unthinkable. So I am rooting for hometown team, the Houston Rockets. If they can replicate what Akeem the Dream Olajuwon did, and that was the last time the Rockets won a championship. Yes, take a short break. When I return, we will talk about MLS. When I return, MLS will talk about.
SS Sports got on the MLS matches. Preview of all the matches from East and Western Conference. And then Sam, yes, David Starlock, David Chisholm, and the ref reported it. So the outside kick for right. So welcome you to Dynamo. They're on the MLS match day.
Keep giving way to Ali Ibrahim. He passes it and he scores!
Let me hear a perspective on the game tonight.
The ref was ready to blow the whistle like 30 seconds before that goal. Game should have ended.
All right, welcome back to the program. This is Around the World of Sports with Sam here on ASNSportsTV.net. If you love what we do here, just go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. And don't forget to go to our website, ASNSportsTV.net, and read beautiful stories we have on that platform. And also, you can follow us across all our social and digital media platforms. No talks I no tell you, because for here, this Saturday they go. All right, so let's go to the MLS. Match day 18 is right upon us. And the Houston Dynamo have game today against Minnesota United. Yes, you hear that very well. Minnesota United, Houston Dynamo will play against Minnesota. For Houston Dynamo, this season hasn't really been a good one for them. Even though they get win on the road, but when it comes to home games, Houston Dynamo are found wanting. Their last home game was against CF Montreal, and Houston Dynamo against CF Montreal. CF Montreal, before they came to Houston, they had only one win in 17 games. Guess what? I was thinking Houston was going to get a win from that game. And Houston ended up losing that game 3-1. And a lot of fans weren't happy about that. If you go to my TikTok page, you will watch where a fan was very livid at the result. So during the pre-match conference with the head coach, Ben Olsen, he spoke about accountability, and look at the interaction.
I think everybody, including myself, has to be better, right? But some of that is a collective. Some of that's, the individual, but some of that is you have to be good individually because around you we're really well oiled and we're in sync and there's relationships being built. And it's been choppy. Every lineup's different. So that halts some of that process and new guys and transitioning. So these aren't excuses. This is just reality.
So he said that it hasn't really been easy for the team, that everybody has to take accountability for that. They have been choppy. Look at, they lost, they had a better road result than home result. Yeah. They lost to Montreal at home 3-1. They went on the road on March day 16. They defeated New York City Football Club on that stadium that they have not won in over 7 years. Now, they lost to Austin Football Club 3-1 in the Open Cup. I understand. But before then, they defeated this Minnesota United 2-0 in the US Open Cup. Okay. Now, they beat Austin in Houston in an MLS game. Drew 1-1 against LA Galaxy on the road. So they have a better road score. So now, during that pre-match conference, Victor Ariza of Deporte Nation, him and Ben Olsen had a little bit of contentious moment, and they went a little bit back and forth during the pre-match conference. This is the conversation.
Am I not doing a good job to get the most out of players? Sure. Yeah, that's. Okay. Was that the question?
No. Just what your evaluation is of how they've been performing. What do you think maybe is part of?
I don't think anybody's has had a great season.
Right.
So whether they've been under my tenure or they've been new, again, I look around the group. I think everybody, including myself, has to be better, right? But some of that is a collective. You know, some of that's, the individual, but some of that is you have to be good individually because around you we're really well oiled and we're in sync and there's relationships being built. And it's been choppy. Every lineup's different. So that halts some of that process and new guys and transitioning. So these aren't excuses. This is just reality. Been through this enough that halts momentum. And that's why we've probably slow cooked. And hopefully we get a group on here. We stay healthy. We have the right competition now. And we can get some games where these guys can grow and some training sessions. And we can just keep on growing. If that's the case, can we sneak into playoffs? I certainly think so. And if we do that, we're going to be in pretty good form. Like, I can trust you that. If we do get in the playoffs, we're going to be on an upwards trajectory. And I've seen that be a good recipe in this league.
So he said that could the team slip into the playoffs? That is possible. Do you think so? Look at where Houston is in the Western Conference. They are number 11 behind FC Dallas. 20 points from 18 games. And we are way past the midway point this season. 18 games have gone. You know, if you count the one they're going to play today. And when you look at the point difference from the team on number 5 to the team number 11, which is Dynamo, just 6 points difference, just 2 games. So I think, numbers like this gives him hope that the team might sneak into the postseason, which if they do, that means all the years he has been with the team, he has been able to get them to the postseason. But you and I agree that result, they have to improve on games at home. You have to make your home a fortress. I remember meeting up with the GM Paronstad. I could have played that interview right here when he spoke about the team being very disappointing at home and stuff like that. And meanwhile, while the Gold Cup is on, that's why I would be of the opinion that whenever you have a regional championship going on, the leagues within that region should take a break. Because a lot of teams will lose star players to national team assignment. Imagine African Nations Cup going on, even though AFCON is not in sync with European calendar. Imagine if a national team that the cream de la cream of their players come from a particular club, and now the AFCON is on, and that team loses their star players. Houston Dynamo lost Jack McGlynn to the U.S. men's national team. Jack McGlynn had been the guy who has been providing a lot of assists and, goals for the team, because Ben Olsen said that Jack coming to Houston was to replace Hector Herrera. So this is Ben Olsen talking about Jack McGlynn.
I think he's been great for us. It's been fun to work with him, and we designed this for him to be more of a Hector replacement. But we made an adjustment and we put him up high, a little bit higher towards the goal to get more goals and assists. I think that was a good adjustment for him, for us, and I think the national team took note of that and is now playing him in a very similar position, and he's having success there. So he's still a young guy, and we're figuring out kind of where he is at and which system and what position. But as far as quality, the goal, the little chip pass for the goal, for the assist. He's a playmaker, and his left foot it's a magic wand. And to have a young American guy with that profile, it's a really interesting profile. It's a rare one, and I'm a big fan.
All right, he's a big fan of Jack McGlynn. That Jack coming to Houston was to replace Hector Herrera, the erstwhile Mexican captain who led the team back to a club in Mexico in the Liga MX. So he came to Houston. He has been the guy who has provided those goal set pieces, his left feet, daft touches and stuff like that. But now, some European clubs are on his trail, and the fear of losing Jack McGlynn is real in Houston. And that is why head coach Ben Olsen has this to say.
I think we've thought a lot about that and how our plan And maybe we weren't at our best in the off season with that, but I think I think we'll be prepared for that.
He said they are prepared. If he got to go, he got to go. Let's say a club now dropped $10 million on Jack McGlenn. You think Houston Dynamo won't sell it? It's business. It's a selling club. They will sell Jack McGlenn with a snap of a finger if an European team dropped $10 million on Jack McGlenn. And for Jack, it would be a great time and a great chance for him to go and play in Europe. So, why not? But I and Ben, we had our conversation during the pre-match conference. I'm going to play you that tape right now for you to listen.
For that, if it happens.
Hi, Ben.
Sam, what's up, buddy?
Good day.
Good day to you.
Cool. It's been a great summer of soccer, from the Club World Cup to the Gold Cup, and the MLS is still on. In this saturation of soccer activities, how have you been able to refocus the team mentality, looking at the tough results you guys have had in recent weeks?
I think just on the results, we've had 2 bad results, and we had a very good May, right? So we're certainly looking to rebound from the 2 results, but it's not doom and gloom. We've gotten over the last 8-9 games, it's been pretty good. And again, I feel like we're on a upwards trajectory, but certainly a response is needed here in the next 2 games. As far as the saturation of games and whether that takes away from our focus, other than Jack being gone, it really doesn't affect us, other than we get to turn on the tube and watch kind of a fun array of games that are different. And whether it's PSG versus a team from the Middle East, or it's you turn the channel and you're seeing the Gold Cup games where we're very familiar with it. So it's just, it's not taken away from anything here. We understand our task, and our focus here is right now on Minnesota.
All right, that was Ben Olsen, the Houston Dynamo manager, talking about what they have been able to do during these weeks, and they are getting ready to play Minnesota United this midweek. Yes, great game coming up for Houston Dynamo away in St. Paul, Minneapolis, against Minnesota United, before they will come home next weekend to take on St. Louis here at the Shell Energy Stadium. Yes, I hope you've enjoyed today's edition of Around the World of Sports with Sam here on ASNSportsTV.net. For all your support, thank you very much. For those who have watched, I think 14 people are watching right now across all our platforms, on YouTube, on Facebook, and on X. Thank you very much. And also, we count on your support for us to keep doing what we do. So if you love what we do here, go to our YouTube channel, ASN Sports TV, and subscribe. And don't forget to follow us across all our social and digital media platforms. My name is Sam. Thank you for watching once again, and have a very, very blessed day.